Hey, welcome. Good evening. Welcome to A Foreigner in the Philippines. I had, obviously, every so often I get stuff sent to me. A lot of the information that is sent to me, I put out once I consider that it is verified by more than one source. But I had, let me see if I can pull this up. Sorry if you're looking at the top of my head. There's loads of stuff about Facebook. Let's face it, it is far from a perfect thing. But anyway, without going into criticizing and bashing Facebook, there are things which don't make any sense to me. I don't know why they should limit the number of friends that you have. We have outstanding at the moment, I think around 1,000 requests to be friends, and I'm sure that a lot of those people are wondering why on earth we would not take them as friends, as they're obviously really nice people that get in touch with us. And the answer to that is that Facebook, I think, allows, I think it's 5,000, it might be 5,000 friends, and you're not allowed to have any more than that. So anybody that calls in 5,001 is not going to be even considered, and there's just no point. And so when you start to get not from 1 but from 1,000, then it gets very difficult. But a subscriber sent this to me, which was an indication of just how ridiculous the protection is that's on Facebook, and even worse on YouTube. We've had our comments disabled on YouTube for, gosh, it must be 18 months or 2 years. No matter what we tell them, no matter how much we say to them, look at our videos, the videos are there to protect. I think the last response we got was that the comments are disabled in order to protect children. Yeah, not sure how that works, but then we're not going to let logic get in the way of a good story. What are we looking at here? This was sent in by someone who was looking at why on earth would Facebook allow this to go on. If I had the power to do so, I would have gallows built in rows at the White House in Washington, as many as traffic would allow. Then white people will be hanged indiscriminately, and they will remain hanging until they stink. They will, I'm not trying to be graphic here, by the way, this is what's written. As soon as they have been untied, the next batch will be strung up, and so on down the line, until the last person in our nation's capital is gone. Now, that was obviously reported. It was reported to Facebook. Facebook said, we didn't take down this comment. That's the headline. We didn't take down this comment. So it says, we reviewed the comment that you reported and found that it doesn't go against any of our community standards. For this reason, we did not take the comment down. We keep our review process as fair as possible by using the same community standards to review reports. Can you imagine that? And yet they are stopping comments. I've had the most innocuous comments taken down that I've made in response to other people. Can't understand how that can be, and perhaps I'm letting understanding, or the attempt at understanding, get in the way of the story here. Perhaps we're not intended to understand, but it's certainly not intended to agree. Who could agree with that? I certainly wouldn't want to be in Washington when this previous man is trying to get his wishes granted. So it's a strange world that we live in, isn't it? And we are forced really to hold to our own standards, and our own standards should surely be that we will not enter into the kind of dialogue that this kind of person would be involved in or would be able to offer us. So friends, can't take any more, but you can go. Apparently my wife tells me, you know, I'm really not a techno type. I can have a camera that does all kinds of stuff and know only half of them. I've had my Ford Raptor, which is quite a sophisticated piece of equipment, and I haven't used some of the things on that. It will actually go from 10-speed automatic to manual, and you can do that just by moving the lever. And then you change gear yourself. You still don't have a clutch, of course, but you change gear with these little flippers which run both sides of the steering wheel, and you go into what's called sport mode, and you can dash up and down the country changing gear yourself if that's what you want. I have a little issue with that, of course. Logic is on my side, I think, and that is that the roads that Beth and I dash up and down in our sports mode, also there are others who are also doing their own version of dashing up and down. There are pigs, there are goats, there are cats, dogs in marauding gangs, there are children walking up and down, there are pedestrians who are walking on the road rather than walking on the grass verge, and there are tricycle taxis which are plying for trade, and they are doing, maybe, if they're looking, if they've slowed down because there might be somebody on the side of the road that they can pick up, well, they might be doing as much as 15 or 20 kilometers an hour. So that, and the impossibility of driving at night is a whole other thing. You just simply don't drive at night, because there are so many things that can go wrong, and if you're driving according to a foreigner kind of frame of reference, like everybody will have lights, well, of course they will, won't they? It's night time. But they don't. And they may have a feeble yellow flickering light on their headlight and nothing on the back, because I guess they're not looking on the back, are they? So they don't think about it. Meantime, you can drive right up their back, so to speak. I'm not turning you on, am I? They can do that, and it will be your fault. So it's a crazy world on that basis. But I have, as usual, I have gone from one subject to another, but then often one subject joins on to another, doesn't it?